Alright, we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Late to the Murder Party, and of course we are at the, second to last, penultimate, that's the word I was looking for, thank you,
Yes.
thank you. The penultimate episode and entry in The Fall of the Hunt. And this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a really, really good one. So, it is now 2022, I believe, when this one came out.
Right.
Yep, it is 2022. We are now once again doing a prequel because, hey, Alien got one. We need an origin story for Predator. And what an origin story we got. Because it's not just any origin story. This is the origin story of the Lost Tribe. Welcome, my friends, to our review of 2022's Prey. Or Skull, as it was once called.
It was the title to hide that was not supposed to be a Predator movie.
Yeah.
For the longest time they tried to hide that fact, but then when they come out it was like, yeah, fuck it, here you go.
Yeah, it got leaked, and well, here we are.
With me, of course, are just the two baddest of bitches, the Sisters of Battle with me. We have the lovely Xeiren.
Hello.
And the equally as lovely Graveturtle.
Hello.
We also have with us our bro, the Belgian in Wolf's Clothing, Varren Kimbold.
I was gonna do a quote, but now I'm just completely off guard. But like, oh, suddenly the sister sororitas has appeared here in the fucking the recording.
We got some bolter bitches up in here.
Yeah.
For the Emperor!
Watch out for them flamethrowers.
Hopefully they're not the penitent ones.
No.
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 They go out to war where nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
We have our good friend and
Stupid, sexy imperators.
not the asshole that we see in this movie. Please welcome Pass the Remote.
Wait, I'm in this movie? Or
I
I'm
said
an
I said
asshole?
good friend and you're not the asshole. My God, keep up.
Wow. Well, I didn't know. I was like, wait, am I in this movie? Am I an asshole in it?
No.
I'm
No.
confoozled.
I am talking
Yeah.
about that specific tribes member. God fucking damn it. That man
That
got
guy.
that guy got what he deserved.
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna call him Susan. God damn it, Susan.
yeah.
Ugh, Susan.
We also have the
Susan.
awesome Wolfman Roy.
Watching Leo Rossi turn into cheap prosthetics on mutant species was much better than this film.
You shut up.
Yeah, so we have our outlier, and we also have the chaotic Doc himself.
I was gonna make a joke about the French, but then the Sisters of Battle thing is that happening, and I thought Sisters of Mercy, and like I think we got rid of that show.
Also, my hoodie has a fleur-de-lis on it, like the Sisters of Battle. Coincidence?
I think not.
Suddenly realizing that I need to figure out a nun cosplay for this avatar because of things.
We got to get you a Sisters of Battle thing. You can have a fleur-de-lis on your face. You have white hair and a gun,
And shoulder pads.
and you're a fanatic about the Emperor.
Do it.
Not that Emperor.
Close enough.
Okay, guys.
Dude, you would want to bang that. You would want to bang the Emperor of Mankind. Everybody.
Raining it in. Oh,
Prey's
gosh.
amazing.
Okay.
Prey,
Yes.
I'm saying it right now. Prey is fucking amazing. If you haven't seen it, this is the spoiler-free part. If you haven't seen it, go fucking see it. Oh my God,
on Hulu.
it's on Hulu. Just go watch
Actually,
it.
Actually, most of the movies in Fall of the Hunt you will find on the Hulu.
Mm-hmm. But it's also still great. This was originally a Hulu production, but we got a Blu-ray and release for it as well.
I'm snagging that. I'm finding that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
This movie is extra special for me as well, just because of how absolutely I despise the Predator. Like that
to be clear, we're talking about the previous film.
Yeah, the 2018 is the Predator.
I hate the fucking titling, man.
I know, because there's Predators, there's the Predator. At least Alien is like, there's Alien 3, Alien 4, Alien Covenant, Alien. I wish I forgot about Alien Covenant.
Aliens on Earth.
Stop trying to make it.
But yeah, like the Predator was such a disappointment to me that like my love for the franchise was really at an all-time low at that particular time, and I had no fucking clue where they were gonna go after that. So yeah, then I started hearing that they're doing a prequel, and they're gonna be doing like the first time a Predator sets foot on Earth. And then finding out it's gonna be focused, like the main focus is gonna be fucking native people from the Americas, being the main cast. I was like, okay, this has elements that could be good. I just have no fucking clue how it's gonna turn out. Then I saw the teaser trailer, and I was like, okay, you got me hooked. Then I saw the poster, and I was like, okay, this looks good. Please let it be good.
Please don't fuck it up.
And then I saw it. Like I think if I remember correctly, I saw it for the first time with you, Xeiren. And both of us were just like, during the entire thing, just going, oh!
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell I have a problem? I love this one. I am fucking obsessed. Just as somebody who loves history and has always liked Predator 2, the fact that all of this comes back around, and because it is set in 1719 in the Great Plains of the Americas. You're following a Comanche woman who wants to become a hunter, but is being very dissuaded by her brother and mother to become one, because it's perfectly possible within their tribe to be female and become a hunter. It's just seen as a very huge obstacle to overcome, just because being a hunter itself is just very much a hard thing to do. And they talk about the struggle of it, and we get essentially a semi-crash drop-off, because it's not a rough entry. It's certainly a rough entry for the Predator, and I feel like I'm gonna continue the synopsis. So if you haven't seen it yet, scurry away, go watch it, come back. Predator lands, and clearly it's the first time they've ever been to Earth, because it is observing animals first, and it just keeps working its way up from snake to coyote, then to bear, and then witnesses men pull fuck shit. And that's when it goes, aha! I have found the apex predator on this planet. Time to have some fun. And the entire time you're following our protagonist, Naru, through this story, she's out basically to prove herself, not just to everyone else, but mostly to herself.
Yes.
And that is the thing that had me gripped by the tits the entire damn time. Listen. My balls are bigger than...
That expression
balls are-
just.
I know my balls are bigger than yours, and they sit on my freaking sternum.
Hey.
Anyway, and so and-
one of the things. Oh, sorry.
and so, like the thing that really gets me about all of this is like it could have been so stereotypical,
Mm-hmm.
but they did everything to nip any of those stereotypical things in the butt. Like they actually hired not only native actors but Comanche, people who understand the history and the culture and
Mm-hmm.
the language. There's like a
Mhm.
full Comanche dub of
Yeah.
this. Like
One-
that's how
one-
far
that's
they
cool.
went.
One of the
And-
executive producers is also Comanche herself.
Mhm. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And so there was like massive respect, not just to the history and the accuracy of the
Mhm.
history, especially
Mhm.
since this involves French fur trappers and a bunch of other things. But the historical accuracy to the costumes, to the weapons, to the history, to the people, it was done so fucking well. And now that we're in sort of like this accountability state with media to do better, this movie set a huge precedent, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And they doubled down. They made it extra hard on themselves because on top of it, they made the protagonist a woman. And I'm like, were you guys serious masochists in the accountability department? Because good God, you really doubled down with that one. But they handled it so well. It's like she's, like I said, trying to prove herself to others, but mostly to herself.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
She's very much focused, but she's not single-minded or
Mhm.
simplified.
Mm-hmm.
And her struggles with her family members are nuanced and thought out. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
they clearly love each other, but they are dealing with a difficult set of transitions because of her goals.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
like
the relationship between
Yeah,
her
like
and her
her-
brother is really touching, even though
It
he's
is.
not on her side with what she
Mhm.
wants. And I
Mhm.
just, I loved how they handled the
Mhm.
entirety of the human story. And of course,
Yes.
I really love how they handled the predator. Oh my god.
Mhm.
Oh
God,
yeah.
this motherfucker is fierce.
Mhm.
Like, oof.
Like I'm still debating. Like it's a constant debate in my head currently. It was like, which one is my favorite Predator movie? Like, is it the first one or is it Prey? Like that's a battle that's constantly being fought in my head right now. But I can
It's a
definitely
tough-
say this movie has my favorite Predator itself.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I absolutely love how this guy acts, how he's
Mhm.
designed, his
Mhm.
gear, and all of that. All of that, I really like where they took the original Predator and then brought him back like 300 years, like what his gear would look like.
Mhm.
I especially love that. With you had your plasma casters first. When this one is crossbow bolts.
God, those crossbow
his-
bolts are so fucking cool.
His spear is also completely different. He
Mhm.
has like his own version of smart discs. It's so, like as soon as I'd watched this movie, I was like, I need a figure of this motherfucker right now, right fucking now. NECA, give me my fucking figure.
Can
Yeah.
I
Which
just
they
have
did.
him?
Well,
Down, sis.
one of the things that I really liked about
Aw.
I was gonna say one of the things I really liked about this movie is how they basically used the Comanche ritual
Mhm.
of the hunt as basically a metaphor for what the predators do, you know?
Mhm.
Because this is obviously a younger predator. It feels like a younger predator out to prove himself.
Mhm.
He doesn't seem like he's the older predator. Like, okay, send a younger one out there to see what's out there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And-
it's like the first time there, scouting. Who is what is the biggest prey around here? So it's like, yeah, like
Yeah.
this guy, like he's a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
And
also
while we
one of the
did, and
other
while we
things
did
I-
have a younger Predator in Predator 2,
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
one is more methodical.
he's
Yeah.
more, and
He has
and-
his own personality.
Yeah, and one of the things I also liked is the idea that in the movie, one of the things that the brother basically says is that the ritual isn't just about hunting, it's about surviving. And the fact is that's something you see in this where they really do show the wilderness is not an easy place to survive. There's like
Oh,
the
no.
scene with the mud is one of my favorites because it's like that's just what exists out there and all that kind of stuff. And like, especially also the way that she solves that problem. And you're like, you see the character growth of her is like, she's not going to be able to be the hunter that her brother is. Can't Leroy Jenkins into stuff. So
I also had Doc screaming Artax while I was watching that. So
Because the way the dog ran off first, and then it revealed to be mud. All I could think of it's the swamp of eternal sadness. My brain is wired like fucking shitlord. I'm sorry.
It was
I really-
definitely a really well done bog.
it was really good.
It was. And the thing that I also really liked about it is the fact that it also is one of the things that, and they show, not just tell that how is she smart? We see her being smart.
Yep.
She learns things. She even like that whole thing where she was talking about seeing a beaver gnaw its own leg off to get out of a trap, which I'm immediately thinking of just seeing a beaver and then just seeing like Mel Gibson as a beaver doing that, like the end of Mad Max for some reason, because my brain is weird.
Oh, God.
And I
And where Mel Gibson had a beaver puppet on it.
That was literally
I don't
called The
know.
Beaver.
Yeah.
that's a weird.
It's a weird movie. Like, let's not get into that.
That sounds like an adult movie.
Yeah, a bit. But I agree.
anyway.
But I agree with you on that pass. It's like they do a great job of telling, but they do a massively better job at showing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
like
see that she is like she also we see her at the beginning. She is practicing with her tomahawk. She's actually pretty good at it. We see her already. She's good at it.
Especially
And
when she gets
also
it on
she
a rope.
has
Oh my
when
god.
she puts it on a rope and she's like, "Oh, I can do this. This is even better." And the thing I like about it also is the fact that we see her practicing already. She's pretty good. And we also get things of she's good at tracking. She's good at medicine. The idea she has skills. She's not. It's not like she doesn't have any. It's like no, she has skills, but she wants the respect that hunters get. That's what she really wants.
She figures out the heat vision.
She does. She figures it out
Yeah.
because she knows about what the plants and all that. I was like, that is a great way of doing it.
Well, and
I'm
one
like,
of
I
the-
think it definitely helps that it's not shown as being lesser than us. It's
No, she
it's
isn't.
shown a balance. It's a balance of being both a healer and a warrior, which I think is really cool.
Which
'cause-
also,
which
that's the
it's-
one
it's
thing I really
shown-
liked about that one where they're trying to find their friend who got taken by a lion, by a mountain lion. It's like, no, she should be part of this team because she's a good tracker.
Yeah.
And the idea of she also is good with medicine and knows that this orange flower will basically lower
Cool
the blood
down.
cool the blood down enough so that it will also keep it from bleeding out. Like, okay, very well foreshadowing into that. I like it. And I'm like, yeah, she wants to be the warrior, but she has a very important part in the tribe also. And I like the idea of the mom wants her to use the skills that she has, basically, but she wants to be able, to prove herself to be a warrior. And I'm like, I get it. I understand that. That is a very human kind of thing.
Well,
I mean,
and
she
the,
literally
and the
says,
thing
like,
is,
Mm-hmm.
as I had a very similar experience growing up. Like, and I know this is something that happens across all genders, but I feel like it has a lot more pressure
Mm-hmm.
um, for women of a certain age. Like, oop, we're losing pass.
He's in the floor.
He's in the door. Oh no! Like,
He's in his
I-
Bethesda game. Run!
like I had a talent for sciences growing up, and my mom desperately wanted me to go into STEM when I went into college. And she upped my ass about it all the time. And she's like, no, it'll be great. You have this talent for it. You got to lean in, lean in, lean in. And
Lean back.
I'm just, and I'm, and I just kept looking at her like, but there's no challenge there. There's no passion there. You're just telling me to do what's easy because you know it will be successful.
Yeah.
That just, I hate how that's such a narrative so often for people who are socialized feminine. And I'm just like, And so I feel Naru so much throughout this entire thing.
I'm also reminded about the fact that we all know the saying "jack of all trades," but how it's actually very much shortened. Because the full saying is a jack of all trades is a a master of none, but it's better than a master of one. And it's that always idea of balance. Well, yeah, I could get into something I can find very easy, but I want to add more things to my tool belt, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I might not be the greatest at it, but I'm damn good, and I'll make sure that I can use it in for any situation possible.
But one of the other... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Grave.
No, great.
Because in this movie, there's so much attention on, like, the characterization and the human story of the movie. And because of that, I think that makes it a stronger film than a lot of the other Predator movies. Because in the other films, we have basically characters that either fit a trope or we're told, oh, they are a master of this. And then they just go do that thing and they don't have much characterization beyond that. And so those films, in order to be good, they have to focus a lot more on the tension and the action and the atmosphere because they don't have the characters to hold up much else. And that doesn't necessarily make them bad films. Like, the first Predator movie is fantastic, but it doesn't make them as deep as this film, where we have enough time to get to know the characters and they have enough depth to them that we actually care about what happens to them beyond, oh, I wonder if they'll survive.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
even with that, it's like...
we get to root for them.
Even that, the thing about the first two Predators specifically, some of the most memorable moments in that, other than a lot of the action, are some character moments. Like, come on. We cannot think about the first person without quoting things like, "You son of a bitch," and "You make yourself a sexual tyrannosaur," like me. Like, and then the second Predator, you have things like El Scorpio, you have things like the little moments with Bill Paxton and Glover.
Hey, PR's my specialty.
Yeah. So it's not that characterization doesn't exist, is that
It's never been the focus.
Yeah. This one, it's a very interesting balance of focusing on character while adding it to the main arc of, oh shit, this thing's killing people. We need to stop it.
I think our positivity
is killing Roy.
Putting Roy to sleep.
It's putting Roy to sleep, yeah.
So, just because I'm curious, I want to give Roy the floor to give his objections, because clearly they are written all over his face.
Well, I'm glad you liked the character. The character just felt two-dimensional to me. Say you want to be 100, yet you hunt with a makeshift commie that in real situations wouldn't fly. knowing the history of the French voyageur in the plains kind of dulled it down for me too. They never made it past the Platte River, and they were just visiting at the time, and they weren't asshats. Big thing. I mean, the French were the ones who taught the Comanche how to ride. It was just didn't feel right to me on a historic thematic level. The constant use of the kami, just come on. You have more weapons than just your bow and arrow and your kami. You can use multiple of the two. The puppy sidekick also kind of was grating after a while. So
I will hear no sorry slander in this house.
I
He
will
was a good boy.
I will admit, Roy, that is the one critique I do have of the movie, and that is how the fur traders were handled.
mhm.
The just trigger warning for those who don't like animal death. There is a
Mhm.
scene where you have an entire field of buffalo that have been slaughtered. Their meat has been left behind, and just their skins have been taken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mass killing of buffalo in that style didn't come until much later in history. I understand why they put it in the film for the sake of making the fur trappers feel more dangerous and threatening. But you're right, that was handled a bit poorly for history buffs. I can see where that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
something that would grind your gears.
I
As
think-
for her weapon selection, I feel like most of that was just tying into her skill development with the very limited resources she had.
Well, they also remember
she
they
does
also say. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry about that.
it's okay, but she gets more clever with improvisational weapons much later in the film. So it's I could see where if like you're not wholly on board from the beginning, where that would be a bit of a grading thing for you. I just can't agree with you on sorry. Like she is best girl, but you know, it's not for everybody.
Also, they kind of, I know it's an adolescent predator, but I feel that they would have learned simple things as always where your helmet is.
Yeah. And I also
And
one thing.
basic hunting skills, like don't hunt animals after they ate, and it just
there was certain details
I
you
think
would
you could
rather have
do.
had
I
focus.
think you could do better with the predator too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I wanna-
can we all just agree on one thing?
Unless you make the predator like the Corky of the bunch.
Fair.
For all you 80s fans, you know who Corky is.
I will say this. Can we all say the punch out of the bear?
Yes.
That
Yes!
was amazing.
That was
Amazing. I every time I watch Prey, because every time I've watched it with Varren. Weirdly enough, I know at some point it's going to annoy him, but I always go like, repeat it. I need to see it again.
Well,
I watch it like 3 times at least.
What you specifically want to see over and over again is when he lifts the bear over his head and the
gets
blood
all
is
the blood
dripping
spurts out of it,
all
yeah.
over him because
I'm
it gets
for
you
that.
going.
I'm for
Oh
that.
yeah, that's a blood bath.
Well,
That's giving
well.
blood to the blood god. That's
Yes.
that gets me going.
I
Yeah.
mean, can you blame me though?
No.
No.
As the resident monster fucker, can you blame me?
I'm not blaming you. I'm just stating as a matter of fact that's the reason.
I want to tie it back. I want to pull back a bit and talk about the French thing because it's definitely not historically accurate, but I think that was made in a move to have the general idea to kind of avoid it being compared to Pocahontas. That idea of you have a movie so focused on natives and native life and native tribes,
Mhm.
it's a little bit awkward to have any sympathy towards a colonizer. So, while it might not be history accurate, I think that was more done for thematic purposes instead of.
It might have been, but yeah, the French. Also, I don't remember now.
The French don't do jaw traps either, so
They don't, but I also don't believe that they did. They also hunted the bison. I believe they were mostly for beavers because that was the pelts were better for the felt of hats and things like that, which is what they were looking for. It's like, yeah, I agree. If you're as far as history, the French kind of got done a little bit dirty, but I'll be like, okay, this is obviously some bad guy French folks, you know.
Like at the end of the day,
if it was Spanish, I could see it.
At the end of the day, I imagine that if you had this a little bit more forward in time to like the 1900s, you could write the Frenchmen as rednecks and nobody would bat an eye.
So you don't even have to go that far. If you did the 1850s, they're just Americans, and it's completely because the Americans basically did do all that shit with the bison.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that they were hunted almost to extinction, and most bison are now bison cattle hybrids.
Yeah, but the thing is like they went with the time period they went with primarily for two reasons. One, they wanted to show the Comanche basically at their peak and on the edge of trouble with invaders of their space. Two, they wanted the tie back to Predator 2
the gun
with the pistol, which Roy's having Roy's having an aneurysm. Look, as somebody who's only ingested the movies, I love that aspect of it. I understand that people who have like ingested the greater universe with comics and stuff, that this is probably something that grinds their gears.
The gun was the whole thing. That exact character is in the comics.
Yeah, the Predator 1719. That's right. And it was in a Dark Horse special.
Yeah, he was a pirate.
Yep. Which, given the way he looked, I could see
pirate or voyageur. That had the pistol.
Because the thing is, pirate. He's Italian. In the comic, he's Italian. He's not French. He's Italian.
Right.
But still,
it's just that he was there as a translator.
Mm-hmm.
But still, but then again, Ookami knows this very intimately. But I'll say it for the rest of the audience. Like, I get it, guys, but also keep in mind, I'm a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, so like for me, a franchise having a bunch of different continuities is actually no problem for my brain.
Yeah, we've dealt with some shit over there.
And as I've stated multiple times as well throughout all these videos, it's like the timeline when it comes to Alien and Predator movies, like it's all up in the fucking air. It's like, okay, now you're doing that story. Okay, now you're doing that story. Okay, what the fuck ever. Nobody keeps track of this shit.
Argo, flargo, blargo. Yes.
There is another connection though too. Not to Predator 2, but Predator 1. This has been confirmed. Doc looked into this. Would you like to share, Doc?
Oh yeah. The scriptwriter for Prey had confirmed that basically they wanted to kind of show that the brother of Naru was actually an ancestor of Billy from Predator 1. Thus, they gave him a very similar... Tried to give him a very similar last stand moment to Billy in Predator 1.
Well, this time we actually saw the last stand instead of just cutting away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is that Billy is actually a reincarnated version of the brother.
Which, yeah, they kind of have they actually managed to get an actor who has a little bit of the similar look.
Because I think, if I remember correctly, was Billy also Native American, or was he like a really...
he was.
He was supposed to be Native American.
Yes.
No,
they just never said which.
Specifically.
I believe so.
No.
I believe so, but I don't know for sure.
Roy's saying no.
No, Roy's saying no. Okay, Roy would know better than I do. Could just be an Italian guy.
So, yeah, it's based. Yeah, it's the Native American PSA
that's
thing.
Dakota
Where...
Beavers. It's
like
I seen he was in the Reservation Dogs.
Sunny Landon.
You're linking him to Sunny Landon. Totally different guy.
Are we talking about Billy or are we talking about the brother?
The brother.
The brother is native, I believe. I think
Yeah.
he's part Lakota. I think.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah.
got all of that.
Yeah, which
they're
Lakota
all-
would be is another plains
Canadian.
tribe similar to the Comanche.
But
When-
that
when-
more
when-
up north around Canadian.
When it comes to
Around
Sun, when it comes to Sunny, he is part German, part English, part Irish, and Seminole.
Seminole.
I don't know how-
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another inaccuracy.
Yeah,
but
again-
so, right, remember, this is Hollywood. All Native Americans look like.
It's the guy did.
I mean-
yeah, I know.
So, just because we need to start wrapping up, I feel like we gotta talk about that last fight.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Damn.
Like
I
even
will say
before,
this, Oh, sorry.
even before that, like I also want to highlight just the fight in the burned out forest. Like when you
Mhm.
first get your first real good look at Predator and just how he just mows through these fucking French
Church
trappers.
fuckers,
Is
yeah.
goddamn
Oh, yeah.
satisfying. Some
Yeah.
good long takes in there as well. My favorite moment is still when he catches a guy who wants to hit him with an axe, catches the axe himself, and it just cleaves his fucking head in like that. Ugh.
Yeah. No, my
Also, the
favorite thing
fact
about it.
Mhm.
Go ahead, pass. Go
I'll say,
ahead.
I like the fact that he has Yondu's arrow from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a very fun weapon, yeah. And also, one thing I will give to the filmmakers, especially
Mhm.
the filmmaking, is that it kind of takes, and we joke about this, but I think it's true. It takes a little bit from John Wick and like kind of classic high Chinese martial arts movies where there's a lot of camera movement, but there's not a lot of cutting.
Yeah, Dan
And you
Dan
can see a
Trachtenberg,
lot-
That looked good.
he was specifically very much inspired by Hong Kong action movies for a lot of these.
Hong
Yeah,
Kong
because-
action movies are always a good inspiration.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
it's all you can tell it's almost always in one take. It's all while it's not super close up, it's right there. It's allowed to be more visceral, and for lack of a
I
better
agree.
term, may the ancestors forgive me, a little bit more savage.
Yeah. Also, like legitimately, when she takes the mask from it, I had a moment because I actually like looked at it and I went like, because like just the design on this particular Predator, I legitimately just out loud just was like, wow, you truly are one ugly motherfucker.
Yep, he was
Oh,
like.
Also, I do
production-
love the use of and bringing it back. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yes.
That was a good
Yeah,
callback.
It doesn't feel as forced as something might
I
like
did.
that. 'Cause
It didn't. To me, it didn't feel forced because it's like, well, how are we gonna do it? Can we do it? It's like, yeah, no, it bleeds. Therefore, we can kill it. It is.
Yeah.
yeah, it's at least clever enough in recognizing that that's a conclusion you can have in something.
Yeah, that does not feel forced at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, the use of her basically figuring out that the Yondu whistle crossbow, magnetic crossbow, works with the helmet, and then setting it up so that it would basically, when it tried to track her, it was aiming at itself. That's chef's kiss. Mwah.
This is as far
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you go.
If the mud trap didn't
She
get him,
had her-
that would be
she
the
got
final
her
shot.
Ritual. She
Mhm.
got her ritual, and she brought the head back as a trophy, just like the Predators do.
My
Just
favorite.
like a worthy prey
And its blood
gets
is
their
war
head as a
paint.
trophy.
And it
Mhm.
glows.
And
My
Lex
with
became
blood.
War Chief.
Go ahead.
My favorite aspect of that entire thing is the moment preceding. She's
Mhm.
sitting next to the fire. She's prepping herself. She's like,
Mhm.
I've already got my setup. I have my trap. And she's just looking that fur trader dead in the freaking eyes. It's like, you know, she's talking about the predator, but she's also talking about the fur trapper. It's like,
Mhm.
He doesn't see me as a threat. And I'm just like, yes, girl, yes, yes.
Of course, keep in
Because
mind, while all this is happening, she has the fur trader right there crawling towards a gun with a leg cut off.
oh yeah, and he's getting his musket ready. He's gonna shoot her in the face.
But he doesn't
And
realize.
she's
killing
so
him.
calm.
Yeah.
She's so calm because she's like, no, I am already 13 steps ahead of you. You will not survive. And yet, because I look the way I look, you underestimate me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is not just the flaw of the predator, but it's your flaw.
Yep.
As
It's
well.
very
And then she shoves the flowers in her mouth to prep for the war she's about to take on with the predator. I'm just sitting here going like, I love you. Marry me.
Is all the way back into one of the things the brother compliments her on, specifically while they're tied up, is you see things I can't.
Yep.
Because
And that's the thing. And I feel like that also ties back in really, really well with like how the predators seek out people to take down. It's like she can see things that the predator cannot. And that just it's all comes down to it's a battle of wits. And that's honestly how I'd like to tie this entire thing in a nice pretty little bow.
Mm-hmm.
If there is one thing I enjoy the most about the Predator franchise, is this. You may have varying power levels, weapons, time period, technology, but no matter how you spin it, in every film, it always comes down to one thing. The one who wins the battle with the Predator has the most wits. It always comes down to a battle of wits.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's not just
might makes right. And considering that they've had so many different directors and so many different producers over decades of time, and yet regardless of the quality of the Predator movie, because let's face it, we got a whole range going from absolute gold to absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
This one theme remains consistent regardless of how well it's done. And I appreciate that so fucking much.
Yeah. It's basically the core of the franchise. The Predator is such a big menacing enemy. You can't, basically you can't just punch him out. You're gonna get killed. You have to find
punch
a
out a bear,
way.
And I think that's also what ties it well with Alien specifically well, because the whole thing is that it's always with Predator, it's a battle of wits in the ways that they're both clever, but depends on who has a better edge. In Alien, it's more wits versus animal instinct. Because at the end of the day, while the aliens aren't dumb, especially even as unfortunate as Resurrection is, it shows that they have intelligence. It's just that they're more driven by eat, sleep, kill, fuck, or eat, sleep, kill, infect.
It's a hive mind.
I would more sum it up with Alien, with the Alien franchise, is that Predator is all about a battle of wits. Aliens, regardless of the film, is all about the battle of knowledge. Because it's always when knowledge is hidden from the characters about the situation they're in that the slaughter begins. So it's, I mean, when you bring together these two franchises, you get it's a grand battle of wits and wisdom. And fuck, this has been a great journey. I'm sorry,
Right?
guys. I'm glad we finally did this, but I'm just sitting here thinking about it all encompassing right now, and I feel like I've reached a new elevational plane in movie review. I am ascending. I am ascending.
Just because we have more.
And I think that is a good note to go out on.
Yep. I don't think we have. Do we have anything else that we want to add? Like Grave? Anyone else?
All I can say
I
is
do just want to add. I want to add one quick thing, which
Uh-huh.
is it was very nice that Bill Duke had that bit on Twitter, basically welcoming the main character's actress into basically the Predator family and stuff. That was cool.
That is so
I like
cool.
that. Dude.
Yeah, and
Darren?
that, all in all, despite us having very intelligent conversations about this, it was just fucking fun. And that's the
Yeah.
thing we could always miss in certain blockbusters. I mean, again, in this franchise especially, the Predator, it's allowed to be fun in its own way. Like, it's not super snarky, even though there is some fun, like, little battle of whips snark. It's allowed to be fun, and it's allowed yourself to root for the game. And that is something I think is perfect about this movie, but also a lot of some of the best action in general. And, like,
Yeah.
that's happened in Predator, especially in Predator 2, and in this.
Mhm.
You're spend the whole movie rooting for them. And it's a nice feeling to see them.
Oh yeah, we want to see them win. Yeah.
Varren, you were
Mhm.
trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, again, all I can say is this was such a refreshing thing to happen after just again the abysmal stuff that was the Predator.
Mhm.
I want to see Amber Midthunder in way more movies now because I thought she really did so well with the role she was given, and especially her face acting was so goddamn good.
Mhm.
And also one other thing I want to add is that this movie still has some other connections to Predator 1 because one of the designers of the Predator was, a graduate of Stan Winston Studios. So we still have that legacy going on till this day.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Actually, funny thing is, Varren, you say that, I had a perfect fan casting for her that I think you might like.
Oh.
Did you ever read The Crow Flesh and Blood?
There you go.
There you go.
Basically, Native American conservationist fights evil poachers, dies, gets resurrected by the Crow, goes on rampage.
Ooh,
Well, give that to me now. Give that to me
Yeah.
yesterday.
that
You should read that, by the way, Ver. Definitely check that out.
Not only that,
I like it.
that sounds like a nice, and you could do it on a modest budget also.
Mhm.
So the fact is that it's like, yeah, okay, here you go.
Yeah, and I really kind of wish this movie also had its chance in the theaters. It was a Hulu original at the time because it was just past COVID. There were still a lot of just
Mhm.
going ons happening with how we're going to be doing the movie releases and such.
Blame
That's
the
what fucked with me.
mouse.
That's
Blame
actually
the
what fucked with.
mouse.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
blame the mouse. I mean, I would
Yeah.
love to go to an Alamo and be able to say, hey, can we just have like a screening of Prey or something? Because I'm sure they'd be like, damn, all right, but the mouse probably won't.
Yeah. That.
Certain things about this movie would have been amazing.
Yeah. That not getting a
Mhm.
theatrical release was one of the things that had me iffy. Because I'm like,
I get-
this
yeah.
is the
It was
first
more a
time a
product
Predator.
of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was
product
the
of
first.
the times of COVID, where it's like
Mhm.
nobody's going to theaters.
Yeah, it
we're
was-
still. It was still 2022.
It was just the first
But
time
I think
a
it's
Predator
because
movie
it
had
also
not been
doesn't really help
theatrical.
that direct to streaming has had the same sort of reputation and stench of the worst kind of direct to video or direct stuff.
Mhm.
Well, there's still great stuff in it, and I know Roy is shaking his head at me saying these things because he's seen some great stuff that went to direct to video and direct to
Willy's
TV.
Wonderland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's still that step. But around that title, that name, and that system, there is still a stench of we don't trust this well enough to go into.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody was a video store or a goblin at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, call
No
me
one
a
had,
goblin.
not a
But
lot.
sir, I
Not a
am a
lot of
hobbit.
people had the time. Not a lot of
Same height.
people didn't have a lot of time to suffer the wheat and the of the videos.
Yeah. So yeah.
Also, yeah, the ending credit scene was badass with the giant with the drawing of the fucking tribe
coming back.
tribe in the ships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
love it. Yeah, the basically it's the tribe putting their legend of the story, and then the ships come down looking like giant whales. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
so much fun.
So yeah, definitely everybody give this a chance. Check it out. It's so fucking good. So with all of that said, Xeiren, where can people find you?
You can find me always over on TikTok, on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky, and the graveyard known as Twitter. You can find myself every Monday morning streaming over on Varren's Twitch channel, driving him nuts while he plays RPGs.
I need to watch that more often. I love watching you just torture him. There.
Well, as this one has so eloquently put it, you can find me over on twitch.tv/VarrenKimbold, where every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, you can see me play all kinds of fun games. Mondays are RPGs with this red-haired menace. Wednesdays, strategy shooter, something else with an S. And Fridays, play whatever hell I can find. I really like how proud you are every time I call you a red-haired menace.
I see her preen every time.
I love it.
Oh my god. And that's where the gremlin comes out. Anyway, you can also find me over on Blue Sky at VarrenKimbold, over on YouTube at VarrenKimbold for VODs and compilations of my streams. And you can, if you want to indulge my OC content I do every now and then, you can find it over on TikTok at VarrenKimbold. And I still have a Twitter around, but just to be warned, I do whatever the fuck I want on there at this point.
Excellent. Grave, where's the turtle today?
I'm gonna drink some tea and then raid the Predator's weapon stash.
I shall join. That sounds awesome.
Can you give me a combi spear?
I was gonna see if they had a Chinese Shaw Brothers flying guillotine.
I want to see if I can use it to roast a lot of marshmallows at once.
I need the targeting system, please, and the net.
Oh my god, getting to see the net did, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
I would like the net, but that's because it would help me cube meat much better.
True.
Instant slaughter.
Anyways, pass.
Hi, how you doing? You can find me on Twitch and on YouTube at the channel name pass_the_remote. You can also find me on Twitter. Now, if I'm on Twitch, sometimes I'm doing some shenanigans with Ookami over there, and also on Twitter you'll find me shit posting and not taking anything seriously, because why should I take anything seriously? Elon Musk decided to put like $50 billion into this thing, made it a goddamn trash fire, and he's so dumb he thinks he did a good job.
Fuck you, advertisers. Advertisers don't come. I'm gonna sue you for not coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah. So yeah, I do. We'll do Channel Flip, which is just whatever, and Toku Tuesday, which is the best of Japanese people in spandex fighting other people in rubber suits. It is amazing.
Good times had by all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You could find me here at Wolf's Den Productions, if not on the Late to the Murder Party. You can find me here at the Starlight. Your rare, obscure, hard to find pictures can be found here. You can also find me at the Red Light Podcast, your home videos of my horror. You can find me at Zitter, at capital R, capital L, capital P, capital S, Starlight. Say hi. Got some recommendations, some commendations. Just see what we're about. You got some love mail, some hate mail, some Voyageur mail, some Nebraska mail. Yes, Nebraska, you could say that you were the ones to have the first predator in your midst. Some, Comanche mail, some like orange petal mail. Just send it to starlightpodcast@protonmail.com. I also write reviews and lists over at criticlist.com, your alternative to Rotten Tomatoes. Go check them out. Good doctor.
You can also find me here at Wolf's Den Productions. While I'm not here at Wolf's Den Productions, you can find me at the Red Light and the Starlight. But you can also find me at Over the Years, where I take Roy through a decade through a hip hop music and ask if it's worth putting it in between your eardrums. You can also find me at Critic List, where I do things as lists and reviews, including rantings and praisings. Trust me, there's a lot of both. I've tried. Under Chaotic Doctor.
Excellent. And you can, of course, find me here on YouTube and Podbean with Wolfson Productions. From goofy-ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolfson Productions, your #1 stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Twitter. That's under Mistress Ookami. That's right. That is my name, Mistress Ookami. Don't wear it out. Did that backwards, don't fucking care. And you can also, if you're feeling extra generous, head on over to Wolf's Den Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public. Episodes that most certainly will not be dropping to the general public. Behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies, all for just a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month can go a long, long way. And stay tuned, folks, because, the way this worked out, you get a twofer today. Tonight, for this review release, 2 episodes. So stay tuned, because we jump forward 2 more years to present day. Definitely not within the franchise, but in the timeline of releases. And we are checking out the in-between. It's not quite Alien, it's not quite Aliens, but it is Alien Romulus. We're going to talk about a film that's still in theaters. Well, shouldn't be in theaters anymore when this releases, but the time of recording, yes. So, stay tuned
Has
for
been
our...
concurred? Mother of God.
Damn Romulans.
As, yes. We shall
Freaking
see...
Romulans.
Just check out our thoughts on that if you're interested. And we will be wrapping up the Fall of the Hunt. Good night, everybody.
Woof.
La Howl. La Wolf.
You stop that
Wolf?
right now.
Wolf?